There are some tech moments that just feel big, like something's about to change in a big way. And right now, this is one of those times. Apple and Windows, two of the biggest names in the world of technology, are going head to head once again. This time, it is about laptops. On one side, you've got the brand new MacBooks with Apple's latest chip, the legendary M4. On the other, we've got Windows laptop powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon X Elite chip. So the big question here is, are MacBooks still worth it? So let's break this down in simple terms. The Apple M4 chip is the newest brain inside some of the latest MacBook Airs. Apple says it is faster than ever, better for battery life, and helps every single thing run smoothly. It's designed to handle day-to-day stuff like browsing the web, writing, editing videos, and even some gaming. And because Apple builds the chip and the MacBook together, every single thing works really well and efficiently. On the other side, Qualcomm's Snapdragon X Elite chip is making noise too. It's a chip designed for Windows laptops, and it's a big step forward. This chip is part of the new Copilot Plus PC movement. That's basically Microsoft's name for a new generation of smart AI-powered laptops. These machines are designed to be super efficient, run cool and quiet, and use AI to do some fancy stuff like real-time translations, background blur in video calls, and photo editing on the fly. So what does all this jargon mean for regular people? Like students, office workers, creatives, or anyone who just wants a good laptop. Let's start with the performance. In most speed tests, like Geekbench, Apple's M4 chip is super fast. It is faster than older Intel laptops, faster than Apple's M2, and in some cases, even beats the M3 Max. It's great for smooth performance, even when you've got lots of apps open. The Snapdragon X Elite is no slouch either. In multi-core tests, it can actually beat the Apple M3 Max and get close to the M4. It also has a big focus on energy efficiency, which means long battery life. Battery life is actually one of the big wins for both sides. Apple MacBooks with M4 chips can last 15 to 18 hours on one single charge, depending on what you're doing. Snapdragon laptops are hitting the same ballpark, 15 to 20 hours, and they don't get hot while doing it. But what about the heat and noise? Here's where these chips are amazing. They are both based on ARM architecture, which means they use less power. The new MacBook Air doesn't even have a fan. It is totally silent. Snapdragon X Elite laptops also run quietly and stay cool. For people who work in quiet places or hate fan noise, this is a big plus. Now let's talk about real-world stuff, using the laptops day to day. If you're into video editing, the MacBook with M4 has great software like Final Cut Pro. It is optimized for Apple chips and works super fast. On Windows, Adobe Premiere Pro works well, but is still being optimized for the Snapdragon chip. So performance can vary. And for casual editing, both are fine, but pros might prefer Apple for now. Now on to gaming. Let's be honest, Macs have never been known for gaming. The M4 can handle some casual games, and Apple is trying to improve the situation. But it's not quite there yet. Snapdragon laptops are also not gaming beasts, but they handle light and cloud-based gaming pretty well. Still, if gaming is your main focus, you're better off with a dedicated gaming PC. And how about AI? This is where things get real spicy. Snapdragon X Elite laptops are built for AI. That means they have special chips inside just for running AI tools. Microsoft's Copilot Plus features let you do things like search your past activity using recall, edit images or blur backgrounds in real time, get faster answers from chat assistants. Apple's M4 has some AI features too, like Apple Intelligence, which helps you write emails, summarize messages, and even create custom emojis. But Apple's tools are mostly coming later this year. Snapdragon laptops have more AI tools ready right now, especially for creative tasks. Let's talk about software and apps. if you already use Apple stuff like iPhones, iPads, and AirPods, the MacBook fits in perfectly. Messages sync instantly, files airdrop easily, and everything just feels smooth and connected. That's basically the Apple ecosystem. It's why a lot of people stick with the Macs. Everything works smoothly together. Windows laptops, including the Snapdragon ones, are getting better at this too. If you use Android and Microsoft apps, the experience is good, but there is still some catching up to do. And what about compatibility? One issue with Snapdragon laptops is app support. These are ARM-based chips, so not every old Windows app works perfectly yet. Microsoft is using emulation to run older apps, and it's getting better, but it's not 100%. Apple had the same issue years ago when it switched to its own chips. Now most Mac apps are optimized, so Apple has a head start here. Now let's touch on price. MacBooks with the M4 chip started around $1,099 for the base model. Snapdragon X Elite laptops come in many varieties, with prices starting around $999 and going up depending on the brand. Some are cheaper, some are more expensive. You basically get more choice with Windows laptops. Now on to design and build. MacBooks are known for their sleek look and solid feel. The new M4 MacBook Air is super thin and light, with a great screen and a keyboard. Snapdragon laptops vary. Some are premium and beautiful, like the new HP, Dell and Lenovo models. Others are more basic. So, you've got more variety, but not always the same build quality. Let's talk about support. Apple has physical stores around the world. If something breaks or does not work right, you can book a Genius Bar appointment and get help in person, but keep in mind, you have to have a lot of money in your pocket. That's a big plus for the rich, but for average users, it is the biggest downside. With Snapdragon laptops, support depends on the brand. HP, Lenovo, and Dell all have decent support options, but it's not always as quick or as friendly as Apple's service. Now let's talk about updates. Apple is great at this. MacBooks get software updates for years, sometimes up to 7 years or more. Microsoft and Qualcomm are promising the same thing with Snapdragon X Elite laptops, up to 7 years of updates and security patches. That's a big deal for anyone who wants their laptop to last a long time. And port selection? Apple gives you a couple of USB-C ports and a headphone jack. And that is it. If you want HDMI, SD card slots or more ports, you'll need adapters. Snapdragon laptops can be a bit more generous depending on the model. Some give you more ports built in, which is helpful for people who use a lot of accessories. So let's wrap this up. If you want a laptop that is easy to use, super reliable, lasts long on battery, and works seamlessly with your Apple devices, the MacBook with the M4 chip is an excellent choice. It's a bit more expensive, but you're paying for that smooth Apple experience. But if you're curious about new tech, want better AI tools right now, prefer Windows, or want more variety, Snapdragon X Elite laptops are a great option. They are powerful, cool running, and offer amazing battery life. But, and this is a big but, just remember, neither one is bad. It really depends on what you personally care about. Want simplicity and reliability? Go Apple. Want new features and better AI? Try Snapdragon. Either way, we're entering a pretty exciting time for laptops, and that's great news for everyone. Anyway, that is all I've got for today. Whether you team MacBook or team Windows, at least we finally have some real competition again. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.